You probably found this video because you are trying to find your spark. You might be in a rut, you might be feeling lonely, you might be just lost and having no idea how to feel like yourself again. Well, you've come to the right place. My name is Julia. I like to make wellness and fitness content, and today I'm going to tell you the exact things that I believe you should do to get your spark back. It's important to know that you're not alone. You're not alone. Even though you might feel lonely and you might feel watered down right now, there's a lot of people that feel very empty or numb right now. I understand that feeling because when I was 29, literally a year ago, I decided to completely turn my life upside down. I ended a 6-year relationship. I moved across the country. I took technically a new job and I completely started over. And the last year of my life has been one of the hardest I've ever gone through. And that's why I think this video is important, because even though I am still rebuilding my life block by block, I know that I'm not alone. I'm going to break down a step-by-step on how I'm getting my spark back, and I want you to do the same thing. The first thing that we have to do, we're going to do together. Before I tell you a list of, do this, do that, buy your journal, blah, 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 I want you to close your eyes and I want you to think about your favorite rom-com. Favorite rom-com. For me, as an example, my favorite rom-com is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Kate Hudson, Matthew McConaughey. I'm seeing it in my head. I'm also in New York. That's funny how that works out. And I want to be Kate Hudson. Close your eyes, think of a rom-com. Who's the character that you're like, ooh, I wish I could be that person? We're going to keep that person in mind. Why this is important is because sometimes when you're in a rut and you've lost your spark, you look in the mirror and you're like, I don't even know who I am. And so rather than having identity theft
is not a joke, Jim.
We're going to find somebody who we admire or for some reason woke something up in us, and we're going to aspire and be delusional and be that character when we're going throughout these different exercises, okay? Until you find your inner confidence, this is a good way to go about it. So for me, it's Kate Hudson, stunning. She's a blonde. She wears a pale yellow dress that is my favorite color. When I'm thinking about Kate Hudson, I'm thinking, what would Kate Hudson do? Right? Kate Hudson isn't sitting inside of her apartment for more than a day without crying her eyes out. Kate Hudson is going out in New York City and being the main character. If you're like, that's stupid, I look in, I am the main character, amazing. Some people just aren't there. So either find a main character that you aspire to be or be your own main character. That's the goal. The end goal is go from aspirational to actually being the main character. Now that we are the main character, whoever you are, yourself or somebody from the rom-com, first thing that you're going to do as this new person that we're not becoming, we are them, is we're going to do something new every single day. This is so important because if you are doing the same thing every day, if you get up at the same time, you eat the same thing, you go to the gym, you see the same people, if you're in this routine, it's almost military, you're living every day in your past. There's nothing new. There's nothing to break your routine. And that's what we need to change. I was 21. I was dating a guy who cheated on me. And I was in college and I was going into my senior year. And I was supposed to go back to college and live with my best friend my senior year, but I was distraught. Getting cheated on really makes you crazy. You start doing these mental gymnastics. And so rather than going back to Arizona for college for my senior year, I somehow finagled my way into going to Milan and being a foreign exchange student. I moved literally across the world, and at that point in my life, I had never been to Europe. I did not speak Italian. And I was terrified, but I knew that I had to go. That voice inside my heart was like, run as fast as you can, you gotta get out. I was so depressed when I got there. I was like, what did I just do? And I'm sure that this can resonate with you if you're going through a breakup or if you've moved and you're sitting in your room and you're thinking, I've made a massive mistake. You have not made a massive mistake. You're just not living in your main character energy, and we're going to change that. So stay with me. Stay with me. Please stay with me. When I was living in Milan and I was so depressed, I called my dad and I was sobbing. And I was like, Dad, I'm so depressed. This was such a mistake. Why did I come here? Why did everybody let me do this? And my dad said, I want you to promise me something. He said, every day, promise me that you'll do one new thing and you'll tell me about it. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I want you to go into a new grocery store. I want you to go to a coffee shop. I want you to walk down a different street and just tell me about it. And I was like, that seems so dumb. But little by little, rather than crying in the attic that I was living in Milan. I literally lived in an attic. I started every day, okay, there's a coffee shop, any building, there's no excuse. Like any building, it could be a pharmacy, I really don't care. I was like, I'm going to go in, I'm going to look around, and then I'm going to tell my dad, this is what I did today. So this is your first homework assignment, essentially, is every day, I want you to do something new. I want you to go to a different coffee shop. I want you to walk home a different way, but I don't want you to just do it. You need to remember it. You need to write it down, okay? I'm not a journaler. I love to buy journals. Like I have a full bookshelf of journals that I've bought, and I have not put pen to paper. But what I want you to do is I want you to write it down. It doesn't need to be a page. Just like literally title the top of the page, the new thing that I did today. Tell me, comment on this video, this is the new thing that I did today. And it might seem small, but day by day, as you start living a different life, you start living in the present rather than the past. Now, while you're out on your little adventure, the next thing that I want to challenge you to do is I want you to compliment a stranger. It's a little easier in New York because like people just are like in their element, they're in their vibe, but like giving a compliment is free, it's easy, and it feels so good when you're genuine. Start putting out positive energy, because if all you're doing is feeling negative, you're just going to keep attracting negative energy. If you want positive energy, we have to put it out there. So compliment a stranger. So that's what we're doing on the outside world. When we're out in the wild, you're embodying the energy of being the main character. We're complimenting people. We're doing something new. But all of that good energy goes away when you come into your home and you instantly feel blah, right? Like I know you know what I'm talking about. If your home doesn't feel relaxing or inviting, that's not good. We don't like that. So we need to focus on making little changes in your environment that are going to make you feel better. Perfect example of this is my apartment has been a work in progress. I have gone through a lot, like I said, moving to New York City. I finally am to a place where I feel like everything's calming down and I'm starting to make my apartment my little home. A huge upgrade for me, as funny as this might sound, is this bookshelf case thingy. And just having this in the corner of my apartment, I'm like literally 20% happier. Like that's so ridiculous. Something as simple as like getting a bookshelf and filling it up with like all of my random crap. Like, come on. These little things make me happier. If you're like, Julia, I don't have the money for that, I don't want to do that, I know you have a junk drawer, just like me. I have a drawer in my dresser. Ooh, let me tell you, you barely can open it because it is cramped full of God knows what, and I want you to organize it. It's probably gonna take you literally 20 minutes. And after you do that, after you organize that one drawer, you're going to feel so much better in your environment. While we're still talking about your environment and making the energy inside of your home a lot better, a lot brighter, a lot more vibrant, another really easy, cheap thing that you can do that will give you energy is go to Trader Joe's and buy some cheap sunflowers. Sunflowers are my favorite flower. I think they're absolutely elite. These flowers literally cost $5. $5 for these sunflowers, and I freaking love them. Every time I look at them, I'm like, oh, it feels like I'm not the only thing alive in my apartment. Now, if you're a guy and you're like, I don't really want to buy flowers, buy a plant, buy a cactus. I don't even care. Buy something that is alive that you're going to put in your apartment or your home that's not you. Now, when you're in your apartment, I want you to stop scrolling on your phone. I want you to stop scrolling on your phone because it's ruining your brain. It's ruining my brain. My brain has literally turned into scrambled eggs, and it's making you upset and it's making you sad. So there's a few different things that you can do to stop scrolling on your phone. In your iPhone, you're gonna go into the settings, and then you're gonna scroll down and you're going to click on screen time. Wow, how embarrassing. I'm putting myself on absolute blast. 9.5 hours daily. I will say I do let YouTube like videos run on my phone when I am working, but like that's disgusting. Like that is so disgusting. I'm embarrassed. So I'm putting myself on blast here. Wow, that's so bad. If you scroll down, you can click app limits. That's what we want. So right now I have 30 minutes on Instagram and LinkedIn every day and 30 minutes on TikTok every day. Here's the thing. You put in a code to do this. I just put in the code. And I bypass the fact that I have it locked because I have serious problems. My recommendation is if you have serious problems like me, you are going to ask your friend to set the code. You're gonna ask a friend and you're not going to know the code. And so that means every day you will get your 30 minutes or your hour, whatever you want, 15 minutes on these apps, and then you're done. You're toast, you're kicked out. Now, if that's not gonna work, if you're like, Julia, I don't want my friends to do that, but I have serious problems, you're gonna get one of these. You're going to get a brick. It was created for people that have problems with phone addiction. So I keep my brick on my fridge. The way that this works is you lock and unlock your access to your apps, social media, with the brick. I can't override getting on Instagram or TikTok with a code when I'm out and about. In order for me to literally get back into those apps, I will have to come back and physically tap my phone to the brick. I noticed in the past 6 months, why was I feeling so depressed? I was like, well, it's just me in this apartment and I'm all alone and I feel lonely and I'm sad. And I was like, I stopped listening to music, and not music in your headphones. I want you to listen to music through a speaker. I want you to be dancing in your apartment. For me, I'm putting on Sabrina Carpenter, Olivia Dean, and I'm dancing and I'm happy. It's happy music. It's not sad music. So I want you to go on Spotify, go on Apple Music, whatever you use, and just search like feel good morning music. And I want you to have that playing in the background, because that energy, that vibration, that newness is going to also help uplift your energy. Okay? The way that we start to realize and recognize that we're getting our spark back and we're getting out of a rut is actually acknowledging and documenting the things that we're doing. You can do this in a few different ways. One, you can journal. Buy a journal, buy a notebook. I really don't care. I don't really think you should use your phone as a journal. I think it needs to be pen to paper, in my opinion. You do not need to write an essay. The most important thing throughout all of this that I think that you need to write every single day is, what is the new thing that I did today? That's the most important thing. Or maybe it's like, today I went into a new grocery store and I walked around and it was really boring, but I did it and I bought an apple. If you're like, Julia, I'm just not gonna do that, okay, fine. I'll make it easier for you, okay? I'll make it even easier than it even is. Just take a picture or a video of the new thing that you're doing every day. You can keep it for yourself. If you have an iPhone, I would recommend creating an album, being like, new things that I'm doing every day. New things, finding my spark, whatever it is. Let's get crazier with the label. You must break your routine. This is actually the reason why I created this YouTube channel. Before I started vlogging about running, there was a video, one of my first videos, I literally was like, the reason I created this channel was to inspire people to break the routine. And that is really the TLDR of this video, is to get back in your energy and your personality, you have to break your routine. And you have to know that things will get better and that you're not alone. Because I'm telling you, the amount of times that I've looked in the mirror and thought, I don't even know who I am. Yeah, I've been there. It's scary. It's a really sad feeling, but it gets better. You have to believe that it gets better. And if you can't envision yourself doing it, I'm telling you, pick a main character, be that main character, and go walk down the street and be like, today I'm Matthew McConaughey. Today I'm Kate Hudson, whatever it is, and try to embody that energy. And it will get easier and easier every day to just be you. If you like this video, please leave me a comment or a like or subscribe or whatever. And I hope that you have a beautiful day, and thank you so much for watching. I got to go. Goodbye. Bye.